Yes, ma'am. I certainly can hear you. I can hear you clear and see you clearly. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Good. I've already told them. Of course, you would hit me up and wanted to talk to me about, some of the things that have been said. I want to give you my platform. This is not beef. She's just going to speak um, about some of the things that's been said, and we're going to get on, guys. This is not a one of those types of deals. Okay, she's coming very professional and formal. So, with no further ado, I'm going to stop talking and allow Tashonda to speak. Go ahead.
Good afternoon or good evening, everybody. Actually, it's getting ready for school tomorrow. We start back school, but I did want to just clear up some things that was said because it kind of poses a narrative that I think that's not true, and it's everything I cannot speak factual for, but this particular situation which is very important in things that was stated. Like I can actually speak for. Um, um, Royce spoke about my brother and I being molested by my oldest brother. First of all, I want to say that I'm Dwight's older sister. Um, I'm about 7 years older than Dwight. When this happened to me, and I did speak with Royce about this, we spoke in, confidentiality. Royce was my friend, has been a friend of mine. I always looked at her as a friend. My brother's baby's mothers, or the mother of their kids, I try to keep a cordial relationship with as an auntie. Like because I'm a single mom myself, so like there are some things that I do understand, and then there's just some things that I don't understand at all that's going on right now. But this particular situation early in the relationship between me and Royce, this was even before she had her son. Me and her spoke just about like family dynamics. And this is something that did happen to me, not Dwight. Dwight was not even born when this happened. And this is just something that it really set hard with me on my heart because it's important, like I feel like if somebody tells one lie, you know what I'm saying, then it opens the doors for other lies for people to tell. And if you can take something as unique as this situation and then, like broadcast it on, social media and then it not even be true, like that's disheartening for me, which tells me that there could possibly be other lies that have been told about different situations. I have no problem speaking on my testimony. Like
Mhm.
this literally is my testimony. I feel like I turned out to be a really good person, a great person. All of us have our flaws, but like this is something that did happen, within my life. So I'm not really afraid to speak on it. And the fact that it was kind of, like blurted out on social media, like I didn't like that, but still it wasn't anything that made me like fold up. I work with kids on a daily basis. I've been doing that all my life.
Mhm.
And because of my situation, because of my testimony, I'm able to have a special bond with people who I just have a discernment because of whatever happened to me. I kind of, like I can feel it, like it's just like a nurturing, a mother instinct that comes over me immediately when I see like, okay, it's something's going wrong. And, like, right, as she said, as a mandated reporter, like I'm either going to talk to that kid or go back and talk to the counselor because I'm not the counselor. So as a teacher, I am a mandated reporter, but, like sometimes you are able to get that rapport with a kid because they might not even, say anything. Like if you would have saw me as a kid, you would have never thought that, my brother raped me. And I wasn't molested. I was raped. My older brother, my daddy had a kid at 14 years old. My brother did not stay in Atlanta. He stayed in New York at the time. He stayed in
Wow.
New York. He when this happened to me, I was 6 years old. And it's so funny, me and Royce talked about this because, like the other half of the story is that she told me, well, gosh, this happens in a lot of black families because this also happened to me on my side of family. So
Oh
it's
my
not like,
God.
okay, you've been around Dwight's family and like both of you and your brother been molested and now my son is doing things. She actually told me, we shared this over with each other, that this happened to her and this happened to me. Dwight was not even born. He didn't even meet my brother until, because like I said, my brother stayed in New York, Long Island, New York. So my daddy didn't raise him. He only came down for summers. And really that summer started when I was about 6 years old. So like you can imagine him probably, I think he was probably about 14 at the time. Yeah, I'm 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He probably about 8 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So he came down to visit at the time this summer. So my dad is trying to get his son back in his life. So, usually he didn't come down every summer. This is probably the first summer that he did come down. So my parents are expecting, hey, we're going to go to work and we're going to leave her here with, her brother. And, he's going to look out for her. Boom, boom, boom. But little did they know that, this would happen. Now, I do understand that there are women that go through this and they don't say anything, because for the longest, I didn't say anything to my dad, because when you deal with those kind of situations, it's like, and you're a kid, it's like, hey, this, you're bad. If you tell this, you're bad. Like daddy's gonna be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you nasty. So you a kid, you don't want to tell anybody. But I think the thing that helped me out mostly, because he mentioned something about church. I did not go to the church and the preacher said, heal, heal, heal. That's a lie. That is totally not true. But I did go to church. I was a part of my teen ministry, Fellowship of Faith Church International, here in Atlanta, Georgia. Pastor Wayne C. Thompson, he just passed. Very, very family oriented place. I did go to Pastor Nelson and Pastor Wayne, and I had a talk with them, and they talked about forgiving your dad. And in order to get over, being bitter and being, like really caught up in this, because some people they flip out when things like this happen to them. But as a child, I grew up in teen ministry, and it kind of helped me. They talked about having the spirit of virtue. Of course, I was a virgin at 6 years old, but once that happened, of course, I wasn't a virgin anymore. But they talked about, like, you still have a spirit of virtue. That was something that you could not handle. And I
Absolutely.
did talk to them, and I asked them, please don't tell my dad. And I know you think like, man, the pastor, they supposed to tell your dad, but I said, please, this is me, because when I finally spoke with them, I didn't speak to them as a 6-year-old, y'all. I want y'all to get that straight. No, I'm not a 6-year-old, and I went, hey, let me go talk to my pastor. No, we had teen ministry at church. So now it's I'm 6 years old when this happens. I'm growing up, 7 years old, 8 years old, I'm getting older. Like now I'm a teenager, and teenagers, we were able to like understand things a little bit more. Throughout that time, I was a church member, and I did go to church, and I knew who God was. So, like, I'm hearing things, and now I'm able to kind of speak up a little bit more for myself as a teenager. And that's when I was like, like, I need to, talk to some of my friends. Let me talk to my pastor about this, because I did not want to tell my dad, because I thought my dad would kill him, and I don't want to lose my dad. I don't want my dad to go to jail. I just threw my dad would kill him.
Absolutely.
So I didn't speak on this. And it's just sad that, like, these kind of narratives come out. And you can sit up here and talk. If you can sit up here and lie about this whole situation, my mind just says, what else can you lie about? You know what I'm saying? Because we talk, me and her talk, like, this is a moment we had. It was like,
I'm
dang,
so
that's
sorry.
crazy.
I'm so sorry. That's
And
crazy.
for her to sit up here, like, whatever issues her and Dwight have, yes. But Dwight has never been molested by his brother. That was my testimony. That was my story. And my brother actually is dead. He never went to jail. I believe, to be honest, I think karma can kind of take over. I definitely believe in karma. I definitely believe in the seeds that you plant. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, that will come out in the end. And I think that was what what he did. I think it took it to him to his grave, because I think he couldn't deal with it. And he knew that, you know what I'm saying? But I told my parents when I graduated from Fort Valley State University. Um, I went through college, played basketball, all that kind of stuff. I finally told my parents, um, but the year that I graduated, 2003. And I opened up and I told my dad. And my dad is if you've met my dad before, because Royce has talked bad about my parents. It's one thing with her and Dwight, but she's talked bad about my parents. She's talked bad about myself. And I think really we really tried to, like kind of be a bridge in this situation with her and Dwight, because sometimes both of them act childish. But we really tried to be a bridge within the situation to kind of like, let's gap this together. We got to be able to come together some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Dwight's gonna make his decisions, but like Royce is the type person, like somebody, and I'm not just gonna say Royce, because I seen a lot of women making comments, like, you a woman, how could you just some people you cannot just have a talk with and get through situations, especially when money is involved. You got to go to court, because it's going to be your word against their word. And they're going to say, well, we didn't talk about it. We did talk about it. Well, we didn't do this. We didn't do that. And it's just going to go back and forth. This stuff is childish. So, yes, they just started going to court because at that point, like they couldn't get along. They couldn't do things the correct way. So now you got the parents in the middle trying to bridge these gaps. And for her to talk about my parents, like, and my parents in this community in Atlanta, Georgia, my dad, them live in Athens right now, very well respected people. You know what I'm saying? My mom, very well respected person. Like, yes, parents are gonna, like go to bat for their kids. But I can tell you this thing right here. If Tashonda Howard or if Dwight Howard or Jahaziel Howard is doing something wrong and they're not supposed to be doing and it's out of line, then I guarantee you my parents gonna call you on it. They're gonna call you on it. So for her to come out with this narrative that my brother was molested, I was molested, and then the only reason it came out because my brother got molested for my brother went to jail. My brother never went to jail. This was within the family. That happened to me. And I'm strong enough. I went through it and I'm able to talk to other young ladies about it. So I don't have a problem with doing that. That's my testimony. And I'm telling you, like, the more I am able to speak up to other young ladies or men or whoever that has gone through this situation, the stronger it makes me. So no, this didn't break me that you got on social media and lied. Dwight never got molested. Yes, my brother, he did not. He did do this to his daughter. It's horrible. And it has made I think a gap between me and my niece. But my brother died. I think karma caught up with him. I don't want to see anybody die. I don't like to see people die. But I think that because of what he did, you know what I'm saying? I forgave him, but I never forgot. And I didn't like to be around him. Dwight was never around him. Dwight didn't grow up in the house with him. Like I said, he went back to New York after that summer. He went back to New York. And it didn't really come up to after I graduated. I told my parents after I graduated college, Fort Valley State University. So you can imagine how many years my mom told me your dad was like pissed. Your dad was like livid.
What you've actually been through is so horrible, and you're so strong. I would have never known, Tootie. That actually is one of the huge problems that can happen in a broken home. Your father has a child at 14. Your brother grows up without you guys. He leaves him home with you, and y'all don't have that relationship of growing up together. And so that these boundaries get crossed, and it ruins your life, and it's hard for you to recover from. But you've done it masterfully. You work with children, you pour into them. I'm sure you make their lives better for it. And even now, that trauma gets reawakened when you confide in someone, and then they break that confidence you had in them. And so that's another exposure. And then it's online, and now you're having to kind of expose a trauma that maybe you weren't prepared for, and yet you still are strong. I got so much respect for you right now. I never knew you're a mighty woman. I want to say, after hearing what you said, even if Royce said this by mistake, it's unfair. It is weaponizing your trauma. Even if it was Dwight's trauma, it'd be wrong to say. And things get like that when you're going at it. And she was there with him, and they're going at it. But a lot of people get hurt in the process, and I'm sure she's learned that. I did get word that she wants to talk with you. Would you be okay with her coming up and speaking with you, and y'all kind of handle that here, or
coming up?
Are you ready for that yet? If she wanted to come on the panel right now and talk with you, would you be okay with that? Was that something you'd be comfortable with? I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. I know you're sharing how you feel in your story, but she's heard what you were saying, and she wanted to speak with you about it, or be able to share her side with you. If you're not comfortable with that, we won't do that here. We'll give you time. I don't want to do this too soon. If this can blow up into an argument, you know.
Nah, nah,
Okay.
nah, nah.
Would you be
Cause
open
cause
to a conversation?
like like Royce knows, Royce knows how, I kind of feel about how she goes on these social media rants, and I just feel like, like it's not conducive to none of the relationships. Like her son is, like she knows the issues with her son. Like I know they have somewhat of a bond, but it's still, like I'm not perfect with my daughter. So, like, nah, like she knows kind of how I feel. And that's why I say some stuff I understand, now, because I've always been the one to be like, hey, look, let's try to get through this, family. Like Dwight, talk to her, like, just talk to her, like it should be a way. But I see some, of the reasons why, like even my parents just told me to stay away. They'll be so ticked off right now if they knew I was on your platform even talking about this. But that set, so I don't know, like it was on my heart really bad. And like I really wanted to, like I couldn't believe Royce would even get up there and even say this. And she knows what we talked about. But like I just wanted to come on here and clear the air right now with this situation. Dwight was not molested by his brother. That was my story. I was raped by my brother. I was 6 years old. Dwight wasn't even born. Dwight didn't meet his brother until he was about 10th grade, and he didn't even stay in the house with us. But at this time, my brother was married, and his family moved back. They moved to Atlanta from New York. The thing about my niece didn't come out till Dwight was well in the league, gone away from the house. You know what I'm saying? Not around, and that's what it was. Like the all the other things is lies. My brother did not go to jail, but he is dead. He died 2015. And everybody has kind of been keeping it pushing. I'm sure I would love to get my niece, in an atmosphere where we could just, like kind of spill our guts about, like things that we've gone through from that situation and how we were able to move on. My niece is doing well. She's actually not engaged, married, like working, living her life. And like in myself, I have a daughter, and I'm a woman. I'm a single mom, and I do understand things, but like to me, the lies is crazy. So like I'm gonna keep it p. I'm gonna keep it pushing, Kev. I came on here and I said my piece. Like anything that any other things that Royce and Dwight has to clear up, go ahead. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta deal with other people, kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And I'm
ma'am.
gonna leave it right there. Like I've been nothing but real with Royce. You know what I'm saying? But this was like way out the. This was way, all of this was way out the pocket, like for
Yes,
real.
ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
it's just giving. It's giving bitter. It's giving, a lot of different situations. But you know, I hope she get her peace. This helping her get her peace. All right. But like I don't believe that your peace will come when you're not telling the truth. And I came on here tonight to let people. Dwight was not molested by his brother, so he wasn't around. My nephew wasn't around a group of people who are molesters. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
no.
ma'am.
And because I've been through my situation, I would never, ever, never, ever have a thought about molesting my nephew. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yes,
definitely
ma'am.
well protected around my family.
Yes, ma'am.
My mom, my dad, we've been there. Even when he wasn't able to be with his mom, my nephew stayed with my dad and my mom when Dwight was traveling on the road. So, like I'm there with it. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to talk to Royce. Like give her my best, but I don't have anything to say to her. And that's it.
Well, I just want to say to you before you drop down that I wanted you to have a safe space to be able to speak, to clear these things up. and you handled it beautifully. I think you set an amazing example for many of us, myself included. You handled this like a real queen, because I know this hurt, and you got up here and you handled yourself with, I mean, just so much poise, man. I'm truly respect you. Everybody's talking in the comments about how well you handled yourself. So I'm sure.
Everybody on the comments like, hey, look, find a group therapy for the whole family. Everybody talking about all this stuff. I just want, like, this is the narrative that, like, I hate Dwight's legacy is being just, like, this is, like, what Royce doesn't realize. It just messes up the whole legacy. Like, he has a son by her, like, his son sees this, his daughters see this. I say, hey, go to Ayana Fix a Life, put it on there and say, well, we got through this as a family, because this is what they want to see with Black families, especially when they're in the limelight. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Dwight went into the league talking about, he wanted to put the cross on the uniforms. He was
Absolutely.
Christian. He was 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? He was 18 years old, and that's no excuse for doing anything wrong. But I'm saying he was 18 years old. Had social media been as strong as it is now, how they going hard for Travis Hunter, I was like, dang, I wish they could have been doing that for some years ago. But like, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, that's where it is. That part right there, that's my story. So like, yeah, that's my story. You know what I'm saying? And that was cold blooded. But hey, at the end of the day, my God is a forgiving God.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm keeping it P. I'm pushing on. I'm getting up. I'm going to work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Dwight Howard don't define me. Dwight Howard Sr. don't define me. I love them. They're a part of my foundation. But I made mark for myself here in this city. I do what I do. So like, I just want everybody positive vibes. Everybody happy New Year. And like, I hope this situation can be taken care of, peacefully.
Tashana, do you have any um, foundations, nonprofits, or anything that you do to help out young girls or something like that that we can
I
support?
just work with the women empowerment club at school.
Mhm.
I've been doing that. We're actually trying to do a and that's crazy. I'm for women empowerment. Why would I be downing anybody?
Mhm.
But like, I'm gonna do I do the women empowerment club, and we're gonna have a program coming up for Women's Month, and I really want to do something for Black History Month also coming up in February. And I just where I work at Kip Atlanta Collegiate, that's my high school, and yeah, so I don't really have a foundation.
Well, there's so many women who still struggle with this, from trauma, from this happening to them or happening to somebody they love, and I
Yeah.
believe that you can be an amazing resource for them.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'd love to be able to give your information to them if you want to provide that type of help. And when you go to do your group and club, I'd
Yes.
love for my platform to be able to help support you on what you're doing.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Um, they're welcome to come out. Like I said, we're gonna have a program, and like, sometimes girls just don't like to come out and say this, but like, if we have somebody, other people, and sometimes not so much the teacher's face that they see at school every day,
Mhm.
but other people that come out and that talk, that's cool. I would really love that for you to come to the school, and have any other women come to the school and share with the kids, even men, because I have an all boys advisory. So that's crazy. I have an all boys advisory.
Wow, that's
And
powerful.
yeah, I have an all boys advisory, but I do work with young ladies throughout the day. But I have an all boys advisory in the morning. So you have any more questions?
No, you cleared the air. You obviously said that you're going to keep it peak, keep it pushing. You talked about your future endeavors, what you're going to be doing. Hey, you've cleared the air. Let's get back to the beautiful life that we're creating and build.
All right.
Thank you so much. You an amazing sister, because you could have walked away and left all that out there for people to speculate and let that add to his legacy. But you stepped out here despite what everybody said, and I know that your parents and the people that you care about may not like that you got on here, but I think over time they will appreciate it. This was powerful. You
Yeah.
represent yourself and your family very well.
Right. And this to get, people are still gonna speculate.
They are.
this is the internet, you know, but I just really want to get that off of my chest, you know. They're gonna speculate. So, you know, it's all good. You know, you're not gonna change everybody. It's not for public opinion, but this is what happened to me, and this is my story, and it wasn't Dwight's story. So, you know, just that's the main fact. This did not happen to Dwight. And my brothers died. He didn't go to jail, but he did die. And yeah, this didn't happen to Dwight. He never stayed in the household with us. Dwight wasn't even born when this happened to me. So
Right. And listen, guys, neither she or I would seek attention of something so horrific. She called me. This was heavy on her heart. Not one word that she said to me was, I'm going to go at Royce and attack her. She said, I got to make this right. That's my story. And I got to own that. It's mine. And that's all it was to it. This was not an attack. This was just something that she wanted to make right. And that's it. And she did a wonderful job with that. Thank you so much, love.
all right, Kev. All right,
Okay.
have a good night. All
Give
right.
me the details of your event so I can get them out, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, love.
All right.
She is a very, very strong woman. She truly is. Royce, if you're listening, if things didn't go exactly the way she perceives them to, please try and give her some time with this. She just wanted to straighten this out. This was not beef. If you misunderstood something, just let that be the case. And I don't think she means to bring you any drama at all. She just wanted to straighten that out. And certainly neither do I. Everything was on the up and up the other night. I just didn't want to turn her down and not give her the opportunity to share her thoughts, okay? That being said, guys, I'm not even going to speculate or give my opinion on what she said. I'm simply going to hit play and continue this review. And at the end of it, I'll turn this off, okay?